Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new and improved Real Wicked Talk, which is going to be my weekly show, if you will, where I run a full length video. It's going to be fun. We're going to cover all kinds of interesting and amazing topics. Today, we're talking about Christianity. Why? I don't know. Probably because I've just had so many problems online lately with Christians. Always wanting to dispute everything, always wanting to whine and complain and carrying out because you don't agree with their religion and the same things that they believe in. I mean, it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. There have been debates about religion for thousands of years. I think someone is entitled to have their own opinion. Yeah, I really do. Can you believe that? Someone having an actual opinion that doesn't match yours. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Even even back in the early days of Christianity, you originally had a version of Christianity called Gnosticism, where these people, the Gnostics, actually attempted to take the teachings of Jesus, including the words that he actually said, and take those very seriously and practice the things that he was preaching in a very deep way, not just in a surface kind of skim the surface kind of way, and then cherry pick things that you want to believe in and promote or whatever, but in a very, very, very deep, meaningful way. Okay, they were into the mysticism, the spirituality, the finding the kingdom of God within yourself, as Jesus actually said. Yeah, he actually said that, right? Okay. See, the problem is that I don't like the modern Christianity. I don't like their cherry picking. I don't like the fact that that a group of people took over from the Gnostics, basically took over and decided to rule by fear of hell, which is a mistranslation. And if you ask me, honestly, I believe a deliberate mistranslation. I believe they did that intentionally. I believe they wanted to make people fearful because they wanted the power for themselves. They want the power and the money for their church. They want everybody bowing down to them, giving them money, whatever, and they can do what they want. Right? And they knew that a fearful population is easier to manipulate. We still see this today. You've got all kinds of propaganda going around on cable news shows, making you fearful of things that you shouldn't really necessarily be fearful of, but you know what it is? The people, the corporations, and the billionaires who run the networks don't want you to fight for these things because it hurts them. So they convince you somehow that it's bad for you or just impossible to do or whatever. And that's the way it is. And it's the same thing, I believe, with this form of Christianity that we see now, the one that actually took over. I think it's not good for you spiritually. I think it's actually bad for you spiritually. Honestly, it's the promoting hate too. Also, I mean, because when they cherry pick little verses, okay, to say that it's wrong to be gay, to say that women are inferior, things like that. It spreads hate. It's oppression. And it's just that hate isn't good for you spiritually. Hate begets hate. Violence begets violence. Hate cannot kill hate. Only love can kill hate. Isn't that something like what MLK said, right? By love, what do we mean? Do we mean like the romantic love, like I love you, I'm so in love with you? No, we don't mean that kind of love. We just mean simple things like compassion and empathy. Once you have the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and realize how you would feel in that situation, okay, that's what kills it. That kills hate right there. But first you have to actually have that ability. So people like the Gnostics and people like many pagan traditions, especially in ancient times, the mystery schools and the temples, which taught the true mysteries, whereas they, for people who they considered mature-minded enough to learn them and handle them. They did have very often, other versions that were more literal, which they allowed the general population to engage in. Okay, and you know, it's kind of funny with these Gnostics and these evangelical, whatever you call them. It's kind of the same thing. You've got the mature-minded people who, this is how I see it, the mature-minded people who actually were interested in advancing spiritually and discovering their true nature, versus the people who just wanted to take things literally and do whatever they want. So that's why I dislike Christianity. Doesn't mean that I dislike all Christians. Doesn't mean that all people who are calling themselves Christian are bad people. But I do believe the entire thing is meant to misguide people. That is why I've chosen to study and practice more ancient pagan traditions. And Wicca itself, we can say, is not an ancient tradition, but it is based on many ancient ideas, many old occult ideas that were popular right prior to the creation of Wicca, which are also based on ancient practices. So yeah, the two things are very tied together. It is just like, you could say, a modernized version or whatever you want to call it. And I think that's going to be my rambling for today. Hopefully that clears a few things up. I may still get some hate from Christians, very possibly, but that's to be expected because some people just are like that, the way I see it. So guys, I'm tuning out for now. I'm going to continue to post my shorts pretty much daily. I will be doing another full-length video next week, so join me for that. Do hit that subscribe button. Do hit the notification button, as they say on YouTube, and I will see you then.